Quavo and Takeoff was seen performing a few songs at the beginning of the event. After they were done performing, they then went to a relaxing after party where they were seen sitting in a room with music industry and businessmen individuals. Now after that was complete, before heading home, Quavo, Takeoff, and Migo bands were then seen walking through a shopping center in Houston, alongside a lump sum of 50 people that were friends and acquaintances of Jay Prince. Now inside of the shopping center is a bowling alley called 810 Billiards in Bowling, Houston. There was up to 50 people at this location, standing around in a circle, watching people take turns, playing each other in games of dice. Now reports state that Migos rapper Quavo was one of the men playing dice, but I can confirm that is false. Quavo was just watching. While watching people play dice, a man then walks up to Quavo. This man, who still remains nameless at the time of this recording, then starts mocking Quavo and making fun of him for how he played during a celebrity basketball game just a few weeks prior. Quavo is then seen on video cameras going back and forth with this individual, where a video is then heard of Quavo saying, "Man, I don't care about no basketball game. Back up." While Quavo and this mystery man are arguing back and forth about basketball games, it starts to get very, very loud, and Quavo is seen kind of yelling at the top of his lungs. This is then where one of the suspects named Cam get involved. During this incident, Cam is wearing a yellow sweater, and he is seen standing beside Quavo and this man while they're arguing. Cam stood there watching them argue back and forth with his hands awkwardly in his sweater pocket. Now with the yelling starting to escalate between Quavo and this mystery man, Cam is still sitting there right beside them. Here's where the second suspect then comes into the case. This man is none other than Migo Bands. Migo Bands is rumored to be there for security reasons for Quavo and Takeoff. So when the yelling started to escalate, a video footage actually caught Migo Bands walking towards the 50 lump sum of people. While walking there is caught on camera Migo Bands pulling a firearm from out of his jeans pocket. Now you can tell this is Migo Bands from the snapback hat that he's wearing, as well as the single diamond chain and the Gucci bag that he was seen wearing in Instagram stories from earlier that night. The new camera footage then reveals when Quavo starts walking away that the man that he was arguing with then swings at Quavo. This then caused Takeoff to take 2 steps forward to go to Quavo for backup. This is when Cam in the yellow sweater is seen taking a step forward where Quavo was standing. He's then seen pulling the firearm from out of his hoodie and is seen very quickly on video using the firearm, but once the firearm is used, the man holding the camera drops his cell phone. This is where police suspect that Takeoff was first affected by a firearm. So with the sound of Cam's firearm being used, it's rumored by eyewitnesses at the scene that after Cam used his firearm, that's when Migo Bands pulls out and uses his towards Cam. But sadly in the process, sources believe that both people that used firearms both accidentally hit Takeoff, which in the end sadly caused Takeoff to pass. With the sounds of firearms being used, the 50 lump sum of people are then seen starting to sprint away from out of the mall, ducking for cover, hopping over benches and chairs. Meanwhile, sadly, Takeoff is seen on the floor of the mall with Quavo standing right by his side. At this time, Quavo was seen on footage trying anything possible to get him help, yelling for help, and even asking people to stop recording. Now, sources claim that this is Quavo's fault, who started the altercation with this other man. Don't listen to that. Sadly, Takeoff was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. Eyewitnesses say that Takeoff was affected by 2 strays as he was standing there minding his own business. Now, I also want to mention quickly, earlier in that night during the after party, Quavo was seen giving Cam in the yellow sweater a very ugly look. It's been rumored that Cam is known in the streets of Atlanta doing street activities. This could be why Quavo was giving him such a dirty look earlier in the night. Now you get an even clearer side of how Takeoff truly passed and who's likely responsible from the witnesses' side. Now here's where it gets very strange. As an argument starts breaking out between Quavo and another man, yelling starts breaking out and someone then starts recording. Once his recording starts, you see Migo Bands standing there walking towards the pile of people with his hat and chain. It's very evident that he had a firearm during this incident, and this was later confirmed by a witness named Elizabeth, as she was at the scene standing beside Takeoff. Now, she tweeted just hours after the incident. I'ma speak on this because I feel like I have to. I was right there, next to Takeoff. They wasn't arguing about a dice game. Quavo was pressed and Takeoff was hit by strays, as firearms were used for no reason. Rest in peace, Takeoff. He didn't deserve that. He was to himself the whole night. Now, the tweet that was sent by Elizabeth that was at the scene of the crime also had text messages attached to it by people that are assuming it were her boyfriend that was sitting playing the game of dice. Now, the text messages read, "Firearms just started ringing, but they were coming from somebody the Migos was with. But he was using his firearm wild, and he hit Takeoff on accident. Then the other people started using their firearms back, and I think he got hit again, but ultimately his own guys did it, as when he got hit the first time, I just saw him. Quavo was mad over some small stuff that it really wasn't worth. Takeoff was the coolest and quietest guy in that room. He didn't say a word, just chilling in the cut." Those text messages confirm a lot of the evidence that I shared earlier in the video, as there was 2 people using firearms, and in the text messages it reads that firearms were being used by somebody the Migos was with, and ultimately it was his own boy with the firearm that accidentally hit Takeoff. Now, this would obviously have to be none other than Migo Bands. And then he states that after Migo Bands used his firearm, another person from the other side did, being Cam. But it has not been confirmed on who used the firearm first, but it has been confirmed by video footage, the 2 people that had firearms, and those were the only 2 with firearms inside of that mall. Now, when Takeoff's passing started trending worldwide on Twitter, many rappers started spreading love for Takeoff, as we saw Boosie share this video on Instagram.
R.I.P. Takeoff, bro. Shaking my head, man. Humble. That music syndicate won't show QC, all the family. We sending some prayers and love for y'all. All Takeoff family, Quavo, Offset, all y'all. That music syndicate won't, send their prayers out. His rap whack, bro. I ain't lying. We targets now, bro. We used to be heroes, Everybody want us out of here, bro. R.I.P. Takeoff.
After Boosie posted his video, we saw none other than Master P post this to his Instagram.
And hip hop is too young. Rest in peace to Takeoff. My condolences goes out to Takeoff family, Quavo, man, all my soldiers and soldierettes. Hip hop has turned to the new streets. We used to be in the streets trying to get into hip hop, which is crazy. When you walk out your house, tell your loved ones you love them, because you never know who might not come back, and no matter how old or young you are.